It does come to my attention that yesterday I quit the stream without doing my closing out shout outs. There was only one shout out that I had to recover though. Jujubees002, thank you for the follow. I'm so sorry I didn't shout you at the end of yesterday. I was really stressed out by Dragon Quest. I'm not stressed out, but you know, they did the whole prison sequence without me being able to save and quit. So I wanted to kind of save and quit just before the prison sec. Anyway, not the point. Oh, we're recording. That means I got to actually do stuff. Ha! Because I don't edit videos for YouTube. YouTube smelly. YouTube smelly. I mean, consider to be a paid affiliate, quote unquote, to activate AdSense rewards or to put ads on your videos on YouTube. In the before time, you could be anybody. In the before time, you know, as long as you weren't like getting copyright strikes left, right, and center, you just put ads on your video. If you had verified your email address, put your phone number in, and had an AdSense account, that's all you needed. And you know, all the time I thought to myself, yeah, I could do that. I could put, but like no one really watches my videos. Now, even fewer people watch my videos on YouTube these days. I'll tell you, it's kind of embarrassing. I used to have like actual 4-figure view numbers on some of the things that I did before, and now it's like maybe not so close to 4-figure, but you know, it is an ecosystem in and of itself. It is not the same as Twitch. Twitch, you need 3 average followers, 3 average viewers and 50 followers, and you can get to the first stage where they will you can start earning through your learning. YouTube these days, you need 1,000 average hours watched a month and 4,000 subscribers. What the fuck? Where am I gonna get 4,000 fucking subscribers from? 4,000! You don't even need 4,000 subscribers to be a Twitch fucking partner, let alone affiliate. Oh, make me so angry. Make me so angry. C++. I've been looking at e-readers recently and I really want one. I've wanted one for a long time. Because they're really nice to read. I hate reading off screens. But like that paper-like LCD is just beautiful. I endorse it, and I would like to endorse my personage with one. However, the one that I want, a little bit expensive. And the ones that are cheap, not very good. We are going to have to take this out, aren't we? I guess we could probably just do that. I'm so glad it stopped. Oh, this is a real great keyboard to type on, by the way. I don't like it when it does that. If I want to expand it, I'll press the expand button, mate. Anyway, we're doing C++, I think. Hope. Functions with varying parameters. Interesting. How am I going to arrange this? So, varying parameters, obviously. Sometimes you don't know how many parameters you want to pass to your function. Okay. Alright, okay. If all the arguments have the same type, you can pass a library named initializer list. If the argument types vary, we can write a special kind of function known as a variadic template, which we'll cover on page 699, which is wow. Okay. C++ also has a special parameter type, ellipsis, that can be used to pass a varying number of arguments. We'll look briefly at ellipsis parameters in this section. However, it's worth noting this facility ordinarily should be used only in programs that need to interface to C functions. Okay. Yes, boss. Like a vector initializer. Like a vector initializer. Wait, what? Like a vector, initializer list is a template type. When we define an initializer list, god damn it, never does my mouth water so much as when I start a fucking C++ stream. Delicious megabytes. We will specify the type of the elements that the list will contain. Right. Unlike vector, the elements in an initializer list are always constant values. Lame. We can write our function to produce error messages from a varying number of arguments as follows. Void error message initializer list string I. For auto beg I dot begin colon semicolon. This is why I want an e-reader. This screen is fucking tiny. It's not even 5 inches, I don't think. Maybe it's exactly 5 inches. Ah! And it's just frustrating to look at. It's really brightly backlit. The text does not show, well, it shows up well, it's readable enough, but it just isn't nice to you. You understand me? You feel where I'm feeling from? Yeah. The only thing I will say is, like, the one I'm looking at is the Onyx Nova 2. Excuse me. The Onyx Nova 2. Someone is actually selling a Nova Pro on eBay, and the bidding is currently up to almost the same price as the Nova 2, which has twice as much CPU, twice as much RAM, and it runs on Android 9 instead of Android 6. Which I find ridiculous. Why wouldn't you just buy a new Nova 2 if you're going to be paying that much anyway for Nova Pro? Idiots on the internet. I mean, yeah, we've all been there. We've all paid the money we don't want to pay for the things that we want to buy. Speaking of which, I have V2000, and guess what came in the mail today? Do you know what? I'm going to take a small break from C++. Like, literally, like, not even a minute to show you this. And when I say show you this, I mean, where the fuck's my phone? Good God. If I just sign into the correct Twitter account, no. How'd you do this? Oh, there we go. SP, here we go. SP, and then you'll know it's me because there's a Razer mouse in the back. And then oh, hello. Didn't mean to do that. And we can just, no, I want to take a photograph. Take a photograph with the Razer mouse in the back. Get out. Get out. Uploading the photograph to Twitter. Oh my days. With the Razer mouse in the back. I need a profile picture for Twitter. Like, I could just use my other profile picture, the one from my actual personal Twitter account, but then I wouldn't be able to tell them apart, and I'd log into the wrong Twitter account, and I'd be posting in the wrong. Anyway, I'm sure it'll update underneath very shortly. Back to work. Back to work now. Come on, enough messing around. Hup. So, give me that keyboard. Yeah. It's a HP TouchSmart. It's a HP model number KG1061. There you go. You know exactly what keyboard I'm using now, without the back cover, because them batteries need changing. So initialize a list. So we can use an initialize list like a vector. When we make an initializer list, we got to specify what type of information is going to be in the initializer list. That's fine. But all the elements of the initializer list are going to be consts, which is not good, especially for functions. Because we covered this earlier, it was one of the most frustrating things about writing functions is that functions very, very hard to alter the data that you put into a function. Rather, the function would take data of its own and spit you out a completely tangential output, like the Fibonacci function. The Fibonacci takes no arguments and it returns a value of Fibonacci exactly. Oh yeah, it uses statics to keep track of it, of course. Unlike Snatcher and Metal Gear Solid, which take values and actually alter the values. This is the powerhouse. This is what you want to do with functions. And I understand that maybe in the certain circumstance where you don't know how many things you're going to have going into your function, you're probably not going to want to change anything about them. Because you're not going to know anything about them, right? You're just going to want to read them and see what they are. But then, aren't you going to need a flexible function on the other end to like edit them if you find something that you need to edit? Who knows? But by that point, you'll know what you have. Oh, it's so confusing. Why would you make it so confusing? Have you ever watched a video about how CPUs are made? Jesus Christ. Oh, very angry. Beginning and end operations on initializer list objects are analogous to the corresponding vector members. Great. The begin member gives us the pointer of the first element of the list, and the end is an off the end pointer, one past the last element. Function initializes beg to denote the first element and iterates through each element of the initializer list. In the body we loop, we find dereference beg in order to access the current element. Okay. Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. If I was writing this program, I would not call that value beg. I'd probably call it iterator or value boy position, because beg is synonymous with the beginning. Coding books always do this. If you're going to write a book teaching people how to code, please make it painfully obvious what is a function, what is a type, what is an object, and what is just a fucking name you pulled out of your fucking asshole. Beg, name. Doesn't need to be beg. It could be Frank, it could be James, it could be iterator, anything, as long as it's not already used in the C or C++ libraries. So it can't be int. But it can be Harry. Or Ocelot. It makes me angry. Like, everyone, literally everyone that I've seen in the computer science education industry, whatever you want to call it, people who are trying to, even like amateur academics, even people who work for big companies just teaching you how to use their tools, you know, Epic Games, makes me, I gotta talk about this because it makes me angry. I won't be able to focus on the book unless I get this out. They go in and they make variable names which are analogous to the functions within their program that they are trying to describe, and it makes it harder to understand what is going on. Please stop doing it. Please stop doing it. Make them extremely distinct from the code that you're writing. Make them, if you have to, have a tiny little function on the side, a little plugin widget that changes the color of variable names to like pink or something, so you can understand that it's a variable name and that the name of the variable has no bearing on the actual data within it. Christ, makes me angry. Oh, it makes me so angry. Oh, I'm done. Yes, we pass a sequence of values to the initializer list parameter. We must enclose the sequence in curly braces. Ooh. When we pass a sequence of values to initializer, yeah, okay, I read that. There's some example. All right, okay, so it's explained underneath. Here we're calling the same function error message, passing 3 values in the first call and 2 values in the second. Function with an initializer list parameter can have other parameters as well. For example, our debugging system might have a class named error code that represents various kinds of errors. We can revise our program to take an error code in addition to the initializer list as follows. Huh, cool. Oh, ooh. Not a lot of coding going on today, huh? Just a lot of reading. So I got void error message, error code E, comma, initializer list string IL. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward stuff. It's just an argument, an initializer list. It's just an argument you can pass to a function. Because initializer list has beginning and end members, we can use arrange for to process the elements. This program, like our previous version, blah 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 blah. If expected does not equal actual, error message, error code 42, function x, expected actual, else error message, error code 0, function x, okay. When are we going to get to GWindow, bro? When are you going to teach me about GWindow? Ellipsis parameters. Ellipsis parameters in C++ are a program interface for C code that uses a C library facility named var_args. Generally, an ellipsis parameter should not be used for other purposes. Your C compiler documentation will describe how to use var_args. What is var_args? Variable arguments? Ellipsis parameter may appear only as the last element in a parameter list and may take either of two forms: parameter list, comma, ... or ... First form specifies the types for some of foo's parameters. Arguments that correspond to specific parameters are checked as usual. No type checking is done for arguments that correspond to the ellipsis parameter in this first form. A comma following the parameter declarations is optional. Write a function that takes an initializer list int and produces the sum of the elements in the list. Oh, okay, we're going to do some coding. Write a function that takes an initializer list int and produces the sum of the elements in the list. Well, my buddy boy, what are we going to call this? Int list sum. Init yalizer. Uh-oh. We got to sharp include that boy. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Bro, it's sharp included, mate. It's sharp included. Bro. 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 Please. You don't like that, huh? You do not like that. It's broken. It's broken entirely. What the hell? I didn't make that. Fuck you. Type name isn't allowed. Expecting expression. Sales. Oh, it's salesdata.h. Yeah, okay. Duh. Main cannot be used as a global variable name or given C language linkage. Main cannot be used as a global variable name or given C language linkage. Type in unexpected. Syntax missing colon. Semicolon before bracket. Yo, I didn't write that. Ooh, that's not a sharp. Oh. And now all of our errors just melt away. Namespace standard has no member vector. Ah, mate. No. What the hell? The hell? What has gone on? Is that it? I thought C++ didn't, that's still broken. No, using vector. Mate, what's wrong with you? What have I done? Namespace standard has no member vector. What the hell is going on here? Oh! Okay. Oh, whoa, no, 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 not, no, no, no. Pressing the wrong keys, pressing the wrong keys. Do 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 do. This is worrying. No. Error list. Expected a declaration. This declaration has no storage class or type specifier. Mate, who has someone been in the night? Why are you open? Why are you open though? What the fuck? Mate. Why? Oh my god. I don't even give a shit. I don't even give a shit. Why are you... Why? Just because I have nested comments? Whatever. Oh, it's capitalized. That's why it don't work. There you go. Int list sum, initialize list, int Greg, int sumo for auto ill Greg sumo plus equals ill. That's how you make a boy. That's how you make a boy. uh. Are missing phone names. It's not in my. It's not in my file. Not in my file, baby. What do you mean there were bill errors? Magnifique. Mm. Do you want to see an advert? uh, you're looking at my beautiful, beautiful coat there, buddy. You're looking at the I'm passing it an initializer list. I'm passing it an initializer list. Do I have to have an initializer list in my code? Ah! He-Man! Why? Why are you all open? Ooh. Make me so angry. What's going on? Oh, give me 2 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. Give me 30 seconds. It's another test. That's my excuse. Oh. Oh, great. Apparently the mic wasn't muted that whole time. I'm sure I pressed the button. I'm like 100% sure I pressed the button. Like I pressed, and then it wasn't me. Oh no, that should have worked fine. Maybe it was just me being a nooboid. Sorry about that. There was something flapping around in the background. Couldn't deal with it. Just like that. So, wait. So I need to make an initializer list outside of the function in the main doobly-doo. Yeah. Initialize a list int Hoover Dam, whatever. While console in, if no, what? Oh yeah, no, yeah. How do I check the type of an input? How do I check if it's an int? Like that? Obviously not. Like that? Obviously not. Ah. Ah, is alnum alpha is num? Is alnum is alpha is ASCII. Oh, is alpha not is alpha. If not is alpha brackets cin. Why are you like this? What? No suitable conversion for standard IO stream to int exists. Fuck you! No, whilst cin. Oh, it's the other way, isn't it? It's that? No. That? What am I doing? What am I doing? Who is slamming around? No issues found. Ah. They were correct, yes. Trying to learn how a computer works will turn you crazy faster than Mercury. 100%. That is not a guarantee. And while CNC and Shimakaze. Hold on, I'll scroll up. There's a defined initialization of a initialize list. I don't get it. So, somebody tell me. When we pass a sequence of values to an initializer list parameter, we must enclose the sequence in curly braces. Oh. Look, it's when you do the function. When you do the function. Oh. Right, I get it. No, I get it. We don't need an initialized list out here. Maybe a vector though, so we can hold on to them. Yeah. Hooverdam.pushback. Hello. Shimakaze. Come on, man. Work with me. Standard vector int standard allocator has no member pushback. Really? You're gonna do this to me? You're gonna be like, actually, it's a different function entirely. Oh, it does an underscore. Okay. Couldn't just be like, oh, you want to use the pushback function of the vector library on the vector that you've got there, buddy. Buddy, there's an underscore there. It's just like, there is no pushback function on the Hooverdam vector library. Fuck off out of here, you noob. I hate it. I hate everything about this. Visual Studio. Add that. Tooltip. Now. No one remembers any of these words. And then actually, if I want to put that in there now, is alpha Shimakaze. Yeah. No. Wait. No. But it's always going to be alpha. If you type a thing in, it will just be converted to numeric. Piss. I'll leave a space there just in case. Right, I'm going to try something wild. What did I call the function? Oh, list sum. Yeah, wow, that's great. Leave it in. Ooh. But on a bad expected expression. What?
You can't put functions in there. You can only put... You can only put values in there.
Values of variables. We have a vector full of ints. I just want to put the ints from that vector into the function. It's impossible, isn't it? Let me just read the book again. What? Well, how do I do that then? How do I just have the range? How do I just have the ints from the hoovered M? It's because we can't use 4. It's telling me we can't use 4. So let's I guess let's just check that it works. Whatever. It should give us a 6 in the console. It doesn't give us anything. Should give us a 6 in the console. Oh yeah, we gotta do some inputs, haven't we? Hey, it gave us a 6 in the console. I found out, everybody. I found out instead of Control Z, you can use Control and then the pause break button to do your escape character in the Windows in a Windows. So the function works perfectly fine, but we need to find a way of passing the variables, the variables, from a vector into the function, because otherwise there's no point in having it, because you're always just going to have a fixed number of things. How how'd you do that? How'd you do that? Like there's right. I'm not wrong in thinking this, right? There's no point in having a function that can take an unspecified number of variables of the same type if you can't supply it with a random assortment of those variables from the console. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Let's just what am I looking at here? Yeah, this. Just put it in. It's in. That's fine because that's referencing one of the things inside. But I can't just have things in there, right? You need a function thing outside the thing to unpack the thing into the thing. Whoa! Friendly Hammer Bros. Uh, okay, we're on C++.com. It's finally happened. God damn it. Type is used to access the values of C++ initialization list, which is a list of elements of type const t. Yeah, good. Objects of this type are automatically constructed from the compiler. The initialization list includes a list of comma separated elements enclosed in braces. Notice that this template class is not implicitly defined, and the header initializer list should be included to access it even if the type is used implicitly. Initializer list objects are automatically constructed as an array of elements of type T, so allocated with each of the elements in the list being copy initialized to its corresponding element in the array. Using any necessary non-narrowing implicit conversions, the initializer list object refers to elements of this array without containing them. Copying an initializer list produces another object referring to the same underlying elements, not new copies from the reference semantics. The lifetime of this temporary array is the same as the initializer list object. Constructors taking only one argument with this type of special kind of constructor called initializer list constructor. Initializer list constructors take precedence over the constructors within initializer list constructor. Syntax is used. My class in int, my class initializer int. Okay. Ah, but if I search for vector, maybe there's a thing. Vector of bool. Fuck out of here. C++ 11 only. Oh man. Ah. Ah. I want to do it. I don't want to do it explicitly, man. I don't want to write it out like, dude. Cause how would you even do that? No, come back. Come back. Uh, Effective Modern C++ by Scott Myers. He wrote this book, didn't he? Ah. Was not helpful. God, stop selecting chat. Stop it. Stop it. I'm so confused. Oh, sup? Why? Hey, that's what I like to see. Somebody complaining that I'm doing a stupidity thing. Hi, Linus did not make Linux. Welcome back. To the stupid zone. Oh my god. Just trying to extract some data. How's this work? Yeah, I was confused. Well, I'm not confused. I understand perfectly why it doesn't work. But I would like to understand how I can make it work. So we have an exercise to create a function that takes and initialize a list of ints. I called it Greg. And sum them. And this works like a dream. Absolutely perfect. This, however, does not work like a dream, and it is far from perfect. So I have cin push back into an int vector, a vector of ints, and then there's no way of getting those ints into the function, is there? You tell me this, you're gonna be like, you're doing a stupid. Stop it. Like, I can iterate over the vector, but that's not gonna fill the the function with ints or variables, either way, and I can't put code inside the function here. So actually, what about that? Nope. Also, it's been so long since you were here last. All right. I got my affiliate. Yay. Also, here it comes. You can't do this. This is illegal. Why does it say while in? Cause I'm lazy, mostly. So if we just get rid of that and we just put some values in here like 2 and 6 and 99. What's that going to be? 105, 107. So we're expecting a value of 107, which is fine. So we launched the program in debugger boy. We can put values in every time you press enter, carriage return, whatever. It puts that into the vector. Poop. Oh. But it has no bearing what the function does. Apparently typing text in there counts as it too. I didn't expect that to work. But it's basically when you finish typing in your numbers, you do that and it ends the program. It's an int list. What's an int list? It is an int list. Yes, it is a list for ints, but I have a vector of ints, and I want, because I'm storing the ints that I take in from cin. I can't. You typed poop. Yes, I typed poop. I can't. I can't just have infinite int variables. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hello. List sum. You're trying to help wait. No, I don't want to wait. I want to mess around with stupid. That's what I do. So what am I trying to do that isn't working? I'm trying to pass the int values from the vector of ints into the initializer list function here. Oh, Linus didn't make Linux is going to say that's not how C++ works. But there's no point in having. Oh, hello. Don't get pinned. There's no point in having an initializer list of variables of an unknown amount if you're always going to be passing it the known amount of variables. Just don't make sense. I mean, I guess it makes sense because you can use it scalably across your program. You don't have to rewrite it every time. But even so, why don't you just pass it a vector? You know, if you wanted to do shit with a bunch of ints, just pass it a vector and use a vector and then return. Hold up, you want to write the code and try yourself. Well, do you want the function code? It's fairly simple. It's fairly easy breezy. You know what? I can probably just copy paste that into the chat, can't I? Maybe? No? There you go. I'm not pasting the source code in. Oh, sure. Look, that's bomb-proof code, that is. int list sum, initialize a list, int greg, int sumo equals 0 for auto il greg, sumo plus equals il, return sumo. And this is the part where we get back to some of this, some of that weird stuff that we had going on like years ago. Struct word and count. What? Vector, string. That doesn't look like switch to me. Let's do while. For is brief. Vector int. Int. What's going on? We did a poopy. Can you try and run and show the error code? There is no error code. It works as it's written, but it doesn't work how I want it to. So like the error code is no suitable conversion function from standard vector int standard allocator int to constant int exists. So it's fine if I reference one of the indexes. Yeah, well, obviously that won't work. Yeah, I can reference an index because each index in the vector is an int, but there's no way to reference x indexes because that requires a loop, that requires iteration. And you can't do iteration in the function. It won't let you put code there, even though there's curly braces. It says no. I can do this, but then it has no point because there's only one int going in, and it takes a list of ints and it adds them all together. You see my problem here? This is a completely useless function. Maybe that's it. I mean, I understand how to use it. I get why it's helpful, but at the same time, you know what? I'm just going to do the next exercise for this shit. I don't even care. The second version of error message has an error code parameter. What is the type of element in the for loop? What? For constant auto and element il. Constant auto and lm il. It's an initialize list string il cout lm space cout idle. Oh, that's cool. That's cute. It's got a little loop. He's got a little cheeky loop for looping over all the error codes. That's very nice. Where did you get these challenges from? So I'll read you the original question. The original exercise is C++ primer, page 228 maybe. I don't know. Section 6.2.6, exercise 6.27. I'm learning. Yeah, I'm like learning CPP. Write a function that takes an initializer list and produces the sum of the elements in the list. And I've done that technically, but you can't test the function without having a main code to test it with. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if you could just smash a bunch of ints into the console and then it add them all together? But it's not how it works, is it? And the second version of error message has error code parameter. What is the type of lm in the for loop? What is the type of lm in the for loop? It's a string. It has to be a string because it's cout. So it's void error underscore message, error code e, comma, initialize a list, string, vector, whatever, il, cout, e.message brackets left arrow colon semicolon for const auto and lmil cout left arrow lm left arrow space character literal. So that's definitely a string. I can't do this. I can't do this for long. I seriously cannot do this for long. When you use an initializer list in a range for, would you ever use a reference as the loop control variable? If so, why? If not, why not? I don't understand references in yeah, no, you wouldn't. Why again did we use? Oh, yes. You wouldn't use references because you use references. You use references in vector loops to edit variables in the vector, right? And initializer lists are constants, so you can't change them anyway. There's no point using a reference, right? Unless you wanted to find the memory address. There's something freaky about that, right? Does it bring you the memory address? I can't remember. Oh. Can't I just like plug my head into the matrix and ask Tank to upload this information to me? Plug me in, Tank. And I just wake up. Sorry, the stream keeps buffering for you. Well, you now that I'm a bro, now I'm a Twitch bro, you can select a different encoding quality. You can go down to like 160p if you need to. Like I know I stream at a silly bit rate because I don't know. It seemed like a good idea. I play a lot of high motion games, you see. It's only Mondays I do boring stuff. Like every other day of the week I play grainy high motion video game stuff. And basically video encoding is such that the more difference you have between 2 pixels next to each other, the bigger the video file is, just naturally. And in streaming and encoding, it works the same way. So you see this beautiful gray abyss is really easy for a video encoder to stream to the internet. I could probably stream this at like 1 kilobits and it would still look exactly the same as this. But if I was to stream a grainy ass PC game like Counter-Strike or Quake or like a PS2 game which has a whole load of noise because it's a low resolution video, or anything with high motion, basically it just big chungus bitrate. So you'll have a whole bunch of blocking artifacts in the a whole bunch of blocking artifacts in the Twitch stream, which is not nice to look at, basically. And I tested where Twitch was comfortable at higher bit rates. So Twitch itself states that you should only really stream to Twitch maximum 4.5 megabits per second, right? Which is garbage. That's less than 10 times the quality of the VODs that I record. And that's because I'm obsessive about reducing pixelation and artifacting, even though YouTube just fucking destroys the video anyway. At least my personal copy will be beautiful. But Twitch seemed to not enjoy anything over anything kind of approaching 8,000. So I think I stream at like 7. Yeah, I stream at 8. Okay, so the current bitrate is 7745 kilobits per second, which is ludicrous high. It's like almost twice what Twitch wants to see. And for that reason, until I was affiliate, basically you had to download the exact same stream that I was sending, which is, 7 megabits. It's just the way it was. But now Twitch takes the video and can smash it just as good as YouTube. The VODs were always horrible anyway. Twitch VODs are really bad. And I don't know what software Twitch uses to encode their videos. or to record live videos and store them. The file size is tiny. I wouldn't be surprised if they were encoded with VP9s. In fact, I've downloaded them before, and I can probably just look at the file format, and it probably isn't VP9. And I also probably deleted those files as well, didn't I? You know what? It's a fun project. I think I've got some somewhere on the H drive. Transcoded, completed series, Chaos Legion. Where are all my Chaos Legion videos? Okay, they're gone. Fallen Out of Order, Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. None of those look small enough to be. Hold B. They were small videos anyway. Hurt Me Plenty. Is it Doom? Ah, it's Doom. 26 megabytes. 26 gigabytes. Sorry, Jesus Christ. Twitter compression CSGO footage. Twitter compression CSGO footage. Oh, that was Twitter. Yeah, no. What the landing? BTL 1716. BTL 0152. That's a Blender render. Jesus Christ. Nope, I can't find any. I'm so sorry. I was going to tell you what format they do. Twitter does H.264 MP4s. I know that because I uploaded 1,000 videos of CSGO footage to Twitter to find out what was the best encoding settings. And MP4 264 is not the best encoding settings. I think VP9 was slightly crisper and a slightly smaller file format. And if you keep your videos underneath 720p with as little motion as you can bear to leave out, I know it's horrible for me to say stuff like that, but honestly, if you have high contrast scenes with a lot of high motion, it's the same as having basically a noisy image, and you can block artifacts. Why are we talking about this and not C++? Why are there so many people watching this stream? I mean, I appreciate it. Don't think that I don't appreciate you being here, but this is the most boring thing that you could ever watch. There's no webcam. It's just a grey screen with some horrible C++, and me doing exercises. From the C++ Primary, Edition 5. Oh, yeah, you all left. Great, that makes me feel a lot better. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Oh, I can redeem those. That's the great thing about being the streamer. I have infinite channel points. I can just do stuff. Oh, did my emotes get verified yet? Come on, me. Frankenface Z. Oh. Beanie Hipster. Why do I not have TTZ? Twitch. Search for emotes. Mana. Aww. No emotes. Still. I should probably stop doing this soon. I'm going crazy. It's getting into the afternoon. Return types and the return statement. Well, we'll cover this because this is easy. Oh god. Just anything to escape initializer lists. Anything. I just had a small panic there because I used to have those buttons tied to some macros, but I don't use that program anymore. It was NVIDIA. I used to use NVIDIA. What's the capture stuff? What's the NVIDIA capture stuff called? Whatever. I used to use that to record video. And it's good. It's very good. Very low overheads. Absolutely fantastic. But it had a little bit of instability streaming, and it was also absolute garbage to use for streaming. Hence why me and everyone else and their mums uses OBS, because it's free and it's like a million times better. Even if maybe there's a slight, just a whisper of an extra overhead on the CPU or the GPU, depending on what encoding you're using, the options and the feature set you get with OBS is hands down just, it absolutely destroys anything anyone else has done. And I'm so sorry that anyone has to hear this, but it's true. Here we go. Return statements terminates the function that is currently executing. Whoa, It will be exiting if there's a return statement. And returns control the point at which the function was called. There are two forms of return statements: return and return expression. Return expression? Oh. Yes. Usually we use that just with a variable, but you could put the return like here and some curly braces, maybe? Let's not do that. A return with no value may be used only in a function that has a return type of void. Functions that return void are not required to return a return in a return. In a void function, an implicit return takes place after the function's last statement. Boom. Typically, void functions use a return to exit the function and intermediate at an intermediate point. The use of return is analogous. Fucking, I'm gonna have to stop soon. Jesus, I'm gonna need a drink. Yes, that kind of drink. To a break statement. 5.5.1. Covered break somewhere. Break's great. Oh, he's got it. He's got emojis. What's that? I want to see it. Love Peeker. Limited time only emote. How did you get that? How did you get that? Where are my emotes? Love cool. Limited time only emote. Whoa. Whoa. You don't even know. I've got like some weird emotes as well. I got one of them. Nyandia. Oh my god. Haha 2020 emote. Oh, it's aged so badly. He looks so happy to have turned into the year 2020. And oh god. Is that a dude? Is it not? Yeah. Anyway. Return values, boys. Return values, girls. Return values, Sir Uwu. Ah. My goodness gracious me. Void swap int and v1, int and v2. Is that noise? Is that fucking noise? You see Epic Games, I play Fortnite. You say Epic Games. Actually, I have only played Fortnite twice. I'd open that, but it takes a while to boot. I make video games every Monday. Oh, today's Monday, and I'm not making video games. Schedule. I do though every week. It's either late night Mondays or early afternoon Tuesdays, as it was last week. I'm making a video game to learn how to use the Unreal Engine. I'm learning C++ to learn how to use the Unreal Engine. You tell me how that works. Because the Unreal Engine is a C++ visual scripting engine, and it also takes code as well. You can have code. You can just have C++ code lying around in your project, and it will work. Apparently, you have to have a C++ project, of course. But there's nothing wrong with nodes, nodey boys. You can make your own nodes. That's the thing. You can write things in C++, and then you can have them be nodes. They can have them as little bean nuggets. And if I say the word nugget one more time, I swear to God. Function first checks, blah, blah, blah. It's just an example. Functions that return a value. Yeah, you can return a value. Example code. The return from within the for loop is an error because it fails to return a value. Good. Hey, we got another nice redeemed. Nice. Yeah, I priced it. I priced it low so that it could what? How does that work? So you've redeemed your 69 channel points, and in the chat, I'm sure you can see the chat because you're chatting in it, but in the chat, it shows up here that you have redeemed it, and it says nice. Has the orb logo and then the number 69. It's stupid. It's meant to be stupid. It's why it's cheap. It's just, yeah. No. We have a separate one for highlighting messages. We have highlight my message. There you go. Which is 100 beans. Oh, they're called rad orbs. Sorry, I've got to stay on brand. Rad orbs. Yeah. Values are returned exactly the way as variables and parameters are initialized. The return value is also used to initialize a temporary at the call site, and that temporary is the result of the function call. It's important to keep in mind the initialization rules of functions. Local variables, as example. Mana Donor doesn't have any emotes to unlock. Your points were not used. Try again later. Twitch! I have uploaded emotes, but Twitch has not verified them as being safe for consumption. I can probably show them to you just on stream, which would here is one of the emotes. Oh, you can't see that. Here is one of the emotes that we have on stream, or we will have on stream. Sorry. Here is the other emote that we will have on stream. Oh, you want that? Uh-oh. This is how you rope people into paying money, isn't it? And this is the currency. I'm so sorry. It's actually really small, but it didn't do the 1000 pixel output. That's the rad orb. It's a pink. It's meant to be Twitch purple at the top, but it doesn't really show through. It's like a pink to purple fade, cloudy orb with some Fresnel distortion, colorful potato. Yeah, and he's wearing a Macho Man. He's wearing Macho Man sunglasses because he's rad. Oh yeah. Return type for this function is a string, which means the return value is computed. I don't really need to do anything. Can I just skip to the Wait, what? Return string ret. Wait, what? Wait, no. Whoa. Disaster. This function returns a reference to a local object. Whoa. This is important. This is the kind of stuff that I would actually just do. When a function completes its storage is freed after a function terminates, references to local objects refer to memory that is no longer valid. No! Give me another 30 seconds. I'm really sorry. I don't want to do this, but I have to leave my chair. Otherwise, I will be forever baned by the slamming of the door. Beautiful. I know, it probably wasn't actually 30 seconds. You're probably still seeing an ad right now. I'm so sorry. It's great time filler though, right? Ugh. I don't know if I should continue with the video. I guess I'm just gonna have to fucking barrel ahead, mate. Just gonna have to fucking go for it. So I was talking about this. Constant. Go get coffee. Right now? No. I'm gonna stop after I finish this section about return values. And then I'll get coffee and maybe some lunch, and then I'll finish this knife off. I'm building this cheeky knife for a friend, not for free, mind you, but at the same time, may as well be. Oh boy, I feel like maybe I should just give it to him. It's so bad. Oof, yeah, oof, big oof. And it's not terrible, but when you it's kind of like my C++ code. It's the knife equivalent of my C++ code. Not good. I mean, it's perfectly usable, but it's not especially beautiful. Anyway, we're talking about this little bit of code, which apparently this guy says is a disaster. This function returns a reference to a local object, constant string, and manip, bracket, bracket. What the fuck? That isn't a bloody function. Constant string and manip, bracket. String ret. What? I'm so confused. Look, I'm going to type it out for you in over here, where it's safe. Ah. Oh, nope. No issues found. Haha. What is this? Like, what have I created here? Constant string and manip. What is this? Like, what am I... Like, what is it? So, I get it. Okay. Has return type constant string. Okay? Fine. I'm fine with that. And manip. It's a reference to itself? That's why it doesn't work. Oh, fantastic. I'm guessing that's why it doesn't work. Like, if we just took this out, maybe it would be fine. Nope. Okay. So it's not fun if you take that out, apparently. What did you miss? Oh, there must have been like some delay on the ad there. Sorry, I'm new to this game, buddy. I don't know how it really works. Like, actually, I know I press the button and it plays an ad for 30 seconds, but I just went to close the door because it was left. It was left where the door's like, it's leaning on the latch, but it's also fairly windy and the window was open, so it was like bouncing back and forth and going like wedge the door open or shut the door completely. One of those two. Come on, man. Anyway, I don't know what's going on here. Why does this work, and why when I take the and out it does not work? Is it because it's a const and we have a reference and a reference to the const? Is that seems like something we've done before. But apparently that's quote unquote fine. And we initialize a string. Good. Oh, no. Oops. If not ret dot empty. Else Oh, bugger. Why would you let me do that, though? Why would you... it's a cool function. Yeah, no, I don't know what that sound is either. It definitely wasn't me. I wasn't screaming into my microphone. No, I thought you were talking about the Windows 7 function where if you grab a window and you shake it, everything disappears. But bonus, I can't see what you're saying right now because everything minimized. Not just the window you're under, all windows. But you do it again and it pops back up. Okay, so I don't know what the book's trying to tell me. But the function that they've written works. It does something at least. Maybe it doesn't do what they want it to do. It doesn't return strings though, does it? There's one last thing that you can do, right? And it doesn't work, and then it's like, yeah, thought so. So it's not actually returning a string; it's returning a memory address because the strings vanished. Or do you have to do this? For God's sake. There was something about brackets and precedence and cout, and no, it doesn't. It's a mess. It's a mess, buddy. But why is it a mess? Like, constant string and manip rack string ret. If not ret dot empty, return ret. Why am I using that keyboard? I'm gonna ruin my back. I'm gonna ruin my back. Yeah, I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's trying to tell me. It's not working obviously how it's intended to, but at the same time, it is returning values. So, and it is a valid function. So, we'll just do a teeny little bit of testing on this little boy. Was it manip? No, cin. String bean cin bean. What do you mean no? That way? Cout manip bean. F5, boom, and then beanies destroyed it. We crashed it. Oh yeah, the memory access violation, baby. Oh yeah, there's a big X next to it. Yeah, boy. Maybe we can ask Microsoft about this. Hey, buddy, you know how to program good stuff. What is going on with my code? It is not happy with this, is it? You don't know what manip is. Manip is the name of the function. Can we stop debugging now, please? I just want to stop. Please. I want to stop. I want to stop. Thank you. Oh, yes. Manip. String. Poop. There should be a square. Red square above. There is no red square above. So do this. Oh, there? Oh. What hotkey was that? Has a hotkey. Shift F5. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's fine. Don't, yeah. No, you've helped. That's great. But this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Why? It's it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? We'll never know. But it don't work. So we should probably leave it alone. Why is that different from any of the other things that we made? What? It has to be the and. So if we just take that boy out there, and we take that boy out there, and we save, the body of the function seems fine. Yeah, the body of the function does seem fine. I'm guessing it didn't. Why is it a const? I don't know. That's what it has in the textbook. I literally just copied. Oh, right. Because it's a reference. Because it's a reference. Yes. It is the and. It's definitely the and. Empty. Yeah. Okay. Maybe if we had read like the rest of the chapter, it would have made more sense. Yeah, both returns refer to memory that's no longer available, which is why we had the memory access violation, which is exactly what it said it would do. Doesn't give us any inclination, really. It just says you should be able to see exactly why this isn't going to work, even though we explained that 150 pages ago. Don't remember, mate. I honestly do not have a foggy. I have no scoobs. When a function call is an L-val, depends on the return type of the function. Calls to functions that return references are L-vals. Other return types yield R-vals. Call to a function that returns a reference can be used in the same ways as any other L-val. In particular, we can assign the result of a function that returns a reference to a non-const. Okay. Char and get val, string and str, string size type x, return str x, int main, string s a val. Get val s0 equals a. What? Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. They're using a reference function to change values of a string. What the fuck? Dude, this is baller level shit, man, right here. This is amazing. That's so cool. That is really cool. List initializing the return value. No. No. Are you having fun with that? Constant reference to a string. I hope you are. I hope it's treating you well. It works fine without declaring ret. I don't know why ret is declared. Ret is declared to have a poignant example of a local object that can't be returned to the main thread. I think that's why they did it. In their thing, ret isn't even initialized, so it's always going to default to the other one anyway. In mine, I changed it so the ret was initialized to an input string, so that we could see both branches of the fuck. I've also fixed it. Fixed it for you, bloody. You can have it back now. It works, and you can run it on your PC. Don't know what else you can run it on. Does C++ XAs run on Linux? Linux? I don't know. I've never even touched Linux, mate. You know Linux. Closest I got. Of course. Okay. He says lol. Well, I just thought that, you know, C++ XAs would only run on Windows PCs. You know. Haha. When you G++ a file CPP in Linux, you can run it like that /a out, or whatever the name of the object file is. Oh, is that ./a.out? Like a file.cp, an internal server error occurred. Like G++ file.cpp-o name. That seems real familiar. Oh, do you know what? When I was doing CS50X, the virtual machine they give you is Linux, isn't it? What? That looks real familiar because I have used Linux before. They snuck it into my bloodstream. The fiends! So the whole reason you can't play video games on Linux is just because there aren't the correct DLLs or something? Why didn't you stick to Linux? Because it was a virtual machine and I didn't really like it and I play video games. And everyone's like, playing video games on Linux doesn't suck anymore, and no comment. Like League of Legends, it runs natively on Linux, does it? What about I'm trying to think of a big boy game that doesn't run on Linux that I've played recently. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like, I know a lot of Steam stuff. I know there's Steam Linux version, and there's a whole bunch of natively supported stuff for Linux. Fortnite. Does that run on Linux? Epic Games? Epic Games don't run on Linux. They're just C++ programs. This is the big problem. No. No. This is a huge problem with Twitch. People just can't type fast enough. People just typing's really hard, you know. Typing at speaking speed, near impossible. People who do that, stenographers, like back in the day, they had special keyboards for typing to make typing faster. They didn't use QWERTY keyboards. They used weird shit. That used like stenographer no jutsu, hand signatures to determine what character is going to come out at the end. You know about that? I've never seen them, but I know about them. They had like, yeah, it's 5 times 5, 25. It's close enough. They may have had like 7 buttons per hand. Be like 6 buttons per hand. You'd have 5 buttons for one hand, 6 buttons for the other hand. You would have no punctuation there. 6 buttons per hand, maybe that would work. So that keyboard as well, which has got the 2 joysticks that you use for input for people who aren't so good with fingers. That's pretty nice. Very expensive though. Like all these accessibility ergonomic stuff. They're like, oh yeah, no, yeah, it helps you, helps our people do our thing. Have you seen this guy that studies 12 hours a day on Twitch? Well, it's really hard to watch myself on Twitch, you know. No, I haven't seen the guy that studies 12 hours a day on Twitch. Sounds like an absolute madman. How could you study 12 hours a day on Twitch? Like, how could your brain even be soft enough to absorb 12 hours worth of knowledge and also stream it on Twitch? That's insane. That's mental. Pretty stupid. Like, even at my peak learning capacity when I was like, I don't know what, 14, 16, 12 hours of learning in a day, that'd have killed me. Killed me dead. I can imagine, like, doing something for 12 hours straight and also streaming it on Twitch, running out of hard drive space real fast from the VODs. But I couldn't imagine taking knowledge in for 12 straight hours. Man, I'm not even usually awake for 12 hours. I hope he's getting stuff out of that. I hope he's happy. I hope he's learning the stuff that he wants to learn. Unlike me. I'm just learning C++. Nobody wants to learn this. Return from main. There is one exception to the rule that a function with a return type other than void must return a value. The main function is allowed to terminate without a return. If control reaches the end of main, there is no return. The compiler implicitly inserts a return of 0. As we saw in 1.1, page 2, the value returned from main is treated as a status indicator. 0 indicates a success. Most other values indicate a failure. Non-zero value has a machine-independent meaning. To make return values machine-independent, the CST lib header defines 2 preprocessor variables. Page 54. Apparently, we've already used that. Page 54, we're like on page 254. It's the first time I've seen CSTD-lib. Can use to indicate success or failure. Int main, if some failure, return exit failure, else return exit success. What? I mean, that's cool, but it doesn't give you error code, so does it? If these are, because these are preprocessor variables, we must not precede them with standard, nor may we mention them using declaration. A function that calls itself, either directly or indirectly, is a recursive function. As an example, we can rewrite our factorial function to use recursion. Please don't. Recursion is bad. Recursion is handy, but it's the kind of shit that will just lock your PC up. Could you imagine doing recursion, but like multi-core processing recursion, doing like 200 places of Fibonacci, and the PC is just dead? It's just there like, why would you do this to me? Oh, it knows I'm talking about Fibonacci. It's gearing up. It's grabbed a gun. Yeah, it can be useful, but you got to be real careful because recursion can get to that edge case where it's going to take a real long time to complete because it's recursive. And the other edge case that I'm thinking about, like literally yesterday or the day before, where recursion leads to an infinite loop. and you fucked it basically. Your program just won't close. You gotta Alt F4 it, or you gotta Control Alt Delete it. Well, make a good base. Make a good base. Correct. Make a good base. Base case. Yes, make a good base case. I have a good bass case, actually. I bought a bass guitar a couple of years ago from a very friendly neighborhood guitar salesman by the name of Tony. Hey! You did correct it, but I already said it before you corrected it. And then I corrected the saying, corrected it. Anyway, it came with the case. That's why I bought it. He had two of the exact same bass for sale. One of them was like a full mahogany, oiled finished bass guitar, and he had flat wound strings. He said to me, "Don't worry, buddy. I'll give you a free set of strings if you buy this bass. It's it's £50 cheaper than the one that the other one that's in the window, the flashy one." It's like, but I'm selling this from Ibanez. It's brand new. I'm like, okay. And the one in the window is a quilted maple top with Bubinga and rosewood fretboard, quilted maple headstock. It's got beautiful pearl inlays, and it was just such a nicer looking instrument. And it had proper strings on it instead of flat wounds. I tried them both, and they have the same pickups. They sound the same. Flat wounds do not sound like regular strings. Am I a rock and roll guy? Veto. No. Yeah. No, not really. Like, what kind of rock and roll do you mean? Like, are you talking like Elvis Presley? Metal. Oh, yeah, I like a bit of metal. It's an Ibanez SR bass, so I mean that's a fairly. Well, it's only a 4-string, so I guess it's not too metal, but it's a fairly it's that new metal style bass. Figured wood though. No metal guitarist would ever have a figured wood guitar, would they? But anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. Do you know Bring Me the Horizon? I know Bring Me the Haircuts, yes. I have seen them live. Unfortunately. Oh, I do not like Bring Me the Horizon. I'm happy for them that they got a collab with Mr. Kojima, but everyone says Mr. Kojima's got such a wide palette, beautiful, varied taste in music, and it's like, okay, some of the stuff he likes, okay. Bring Me the Horizon, Unknown Pleasures, Joy Division, bro. It's fucking depressing. No one wants to listen to that stuff, except for like emos, 16-year-old edgelords, man. But that's just my opinion. I don't like Joy Division. I don't like Bring Me the Horizon. They're not my bands. They're not bands that I grew up with. They're not bands that I listen to. About the bass case. Let me finish my fucking story. Stop interrupt. Time out. I got the bass case, and look at it. Like, one side is completely clean. Look, it just looks like a black case for bass. I took it on the train, walked home, put it down, flipped it over to get the bass out of it and hang it on the wall. It has a giant creeper sticker on the top lid. I was laughing so hard when I saw that. Oh man. I thought it was just a regular case. I thought it was fine. Anyway. Oof. Tell you what bands I like. ASH. Recursion bass cases. My bass case is not recursive. Not guitars. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've derailed the conversation. Oh yeah, there must always be a path through a recursive function that does not involve a recursive call. Otherwise, the function will recurse forever, meaning the function will continue to call itself until the program stack is exhausted. Such functions are sometimes described as containing a recursion loop. Dang. Factorial, boys. Main function may not call itself, and your PC will crash and burn. I've been there. I've done the Fibonacci sequence recursion experiment. I've been to the moon and back with that bullshit. And now we've got this beautiful Fibonacci sequence There it is. Wait, in fact, were you here when I wrote this? Were you suggesting that I use Uint 64Ts because they were bigger than other things that we were trying to use? And that we should actually make our own data type because this still isn't big enough to hold 100 places of the Fibonacci sequence? But this is really fast. Nope. Okay, it was someone else. But here it is. You know, you can have a cheeky peek. It runs great. I can't remember how it works though. So, oh yeah, it just uses statics. So you just loop it. You just loop it, and it works. Kind of. It works once, and then you have to close the program. That's so stupid. I'm sure there's a nice, neat, even way of doing that without doing that. Maybe. So let me tell you about Blender and its horrible video editor. I've been having real troubles editing video in Blender. I used to use it all the time. Every video that I went to edit, I just Blender, easy peasy. Cut here, cut here, cut here, fade here, black over here, add some music, add some spinning text, fucking easy peasy. Off you go, render. You know, leave it overnight. 6 to 8 hours later, you get yourself a 3-hour long montage video with a whole bunch of cuts, a whole bunch of fades, a whole bunch of beautiful transition effects and whatever. And I went back to edit some audio in a VOD so that, you know, incriminating evidence against me would be removed. I mean, what? And I went to stitch some videos, you know, the Death Stranding stream that crashed. Went to stitch them together and it... Right, okay, so I let it run in Blender. Natural render. You know, I did what I needed to do. I didn't need to preview it. There's this guy on YouTube who made a program to edit his videos. That's nice. Is he the guy who wrote Blender? Is it Tintowin on Twitter? Because he's created a Blender fork which is just the NLE, and he's basically scooping every GPU enhancement you can get. No, okay. Was it his name is Devon. I'll look him up. This is my YouTube page. Devon video editor. Devon Crawford, maybe? Write a program that edits my videos. Oh. It's an automatic program. Google kidnapped him. Oh shit. Yeah, Devon Crawford. Whoop, there he is. Speaking about people who get kidnapped by Google. I'm just kidding, Google. It's just a joke. He mentioned it in chat. We're just joking. Okay, you know, maybe lower that subscriber fucking bar that you put in last year. You dick. Do you know this guy, Everett Bradford? So I don't know what happened. He like I found him on YouTube. And he had like 8 to 10 videos of him modding flashlights. He'd take a fairly, not boutique, but a fairly high-end production flashlight, CNC milled aluminium style, waterproof on the inside, fairly high output, but only white with maybe a strobe and a single button operation thing. He'd take that and he would retrofit in a new emitter, a new control board for the flashlight. And the emitters that he used were typically RGBA. So you get a red channel, green channel, blue channel, and a white channel, which allows you to not only have... Dog! Not only allows you to have individual color mixing properties, had some, you know, cool niche effects, like you could put it on like candlelight mode and it'd be like yellow, orange, and it would like occasionally flicker off and shit like that. But he also had some RGBA UV IR flashlights, six emitter flashlights, which would do like a near field infrared beam or a near field UV beam for checking things like blood stains or money or other things you use UV. He didn't get kidnapped by Google per se. I don't know what happened. He did stop uploading to YouTube, but like, I remember this. I found him like 10 or 12 years ago, and I remember watching these videos and being like, what these flashlights are fucking amazing. Wow. And I didn't know anyone who was into flashlights or gear or any of that kind of stuff back then. So it's like, wow, that's great, that's cool. I wonder if I can get them. Can't see any links to get them. Great, I'll just move on with my life. Bit of a curio. I think I shared it to like one friend, and he was like, yeah, well, that's cool, I guess. And then I found some people who were interested in this kind of stuff. And I was trying to explain to them that there was this guy that was making better flashlights than they could ever hope to ever even hold. He was doing things with RGB LEDs. He was doing things with high power, like white LEDs. He was using RGB, UV, IR, white LED modules. And they were all like, wow, that sounds pretty cool. Can you send us a link? And I was just like, yeah, sure. I'll just go to YouTube and I don't know his username, do I? So I'm typing RGB LED flashlight. I'm typing in RGBA LED flashlight. I'm typing in multi-emitter flashlight. There's a whole bunch of fucking noobs making shit. Absolute garbage-a-thon. And I'm like, well, this can't be right. My phone's about to die. Oh no. And I was just like, well, there's only one thing for this. I'm just gonna have to scroll down my list of channels that I've subscribed to and click every single one until I find them. And of course, you can discount people like Tobuscus, Nerdcubed. They obviously don't make flashlights. They're gamers from Twitch. Doi. Why would they make flashlights? I didn't click on some of them, obviously. But I'm subscribed to like... I'll get to that in a minute. Oh. I'm subscribed to like 600 people on YouTube. It's ridiculous. I thought, you like their stuff, you click subscribe, whatever. Anyway, I got to the end of the list. He wasn't there. And I was like, oh, that's fucking suspicious. Did I dream this guy? Did I fucking imagine this lad making these flashlights? And I was like, oh, I guess I'll just leave it alone. And I kept coming back. Like every week or so, I'd come back and I'd look again through all the people I'd followed. He did it to mess with you. Yeah, probably. And one day, like a couple of months later, he did it to mess with my brain. Yeah. A couple of months later, he popped back up again, and his username is, I think, which is really weird, because I actually live quite close to a place called Bradford. It's kind of freaky, actually. Freaked me out. In fact, can I just... Everett Bradford. There he is. 16,000 subscribers, 45 videos. Portable T12 soldering iron. 4 months ago! 4 months ago! Oh. Oh. Oh, he's not dead. Oh. He's not dead. Google let him go. Oh, the annoying thing is he has enough subscribers on YouTube to have a custom URL. I don't have a custom URL. If you click on my VOD button down there, it's a horrible fucking spaghetti nightmare of a URL. Anyway, I'm pretty much done here. We've got some exercises, but compile your version of stir subrange as presented on page 223. What your compiler does with the indicated errors, don't really care. When is it valid to return a reference to const? You can return a reference when it's an L value in an assignment operator in your program. Indicate whether the following function is legal, so explain what it does. If not, correct any errors and explain it. Int and get, int array, int star array, int index, return array, index. Int main, int IA 10, for int I equals 0, I does not equal 10, plus plus I, get IA, I equals I. Oh. Do I know XKCD hat guy? No. Is he a fun guy? XKCD hat. My first interview Radio Farcast from Robert Phoenix. Astrology is a real art form. My return to YouTube and why I left. Mission Impossible Saving Society, never before released original. YouTube, he vanished, no longer uploads. But he's here 1 month ago. I don't know who this boy is. I do not endorse. He's there a month ago on a live stream with Robbie Phoenix. I don't know. He's not looking too happy there. He had an old YouTube channel. Yeah, he all the videos are like why I left YouTube and why I've come back. God, I don't know who that is. Anyone watching, I don't know what that is. You find out for yourself. I don't endorse it. Check it out if you want. It's on YouTube. It's probably safe. Most of the stuff on YouTube is pretty safe. Not like the stuff on Reddit where you can just see people get exploded in war zones. Wow. You ever have that? You ever have group chat and people are just like, hey, check this funny video out, and it's a guy like driving a technical and he gets hit by an IED and like everyone in the technical is just body parts, and you're just like, why did you send this to me? Write a recursive function to print the contents of a vector. No. Why would you use recursion to print the contents of a vector when you can just use an iterator? In the call to factorial, why did we pass value -1 rather than value minus minus? We passed it value -1 because value minus minus would do the function on factorial on the value, and then it would decrement the value. You could use minus minus value, I guess. Sure, that would be correct. Value -1 is going to be the value -1. Value minus minus is going to be the value. That's how increment and decrement workers do the do. If I'm not very much mistaken. Oh man, I gotta stop. My throat is killing me. My throat is killing me. Like yesterday, I don't know. Dragon Quest was real extreme, and I got really shouty. And I woke up with a sore throat. It's like the muscles around the glottal, whatever they're called. It's not like a regular sore throat where it's like down the back. What would happen if the stopping condition in factorial were value does not equal 0? would not stop. It would not stop. It would not stop. Would it not stop? It wouldn't stop, would it? If val is greater than 1, yeah, it wouldn't stop because it would go past the negative point because you'd get if val is greater than 1, return factorial val minus 1 times by val, return 1. So if val does not equal 0, it would go down to val equals 1, and then val does not equal 0, equals 1. So you return factorial val minus 1 times by val. Oh. Which is 0. Because factorial val minus 1, no. What? No, what? Hold on. Hold up. So let's start at 3. So 3. No, let's start at 1. Let's start at 1 again. In fact, let's do this on a piece of paper. Might be easier to see what's happening. Where's my notepad? There it is, right in front of me. This beautiful, beautiful notepad. I will get you the brand. I'll get you the brand. Paper Blanks, Silver Filigree Shadow. It's a beautiful notepad. In fact, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful notepad. I'll turn the webcam on. We can have a cheeky peek at how gorgeous this notepad is. All right. I'm not even letting you take my word for it. This is just, you know. It's got a little bit of a holographic sheen. You can't see that on the camera because it's mostly just reflecting the infrared light from the window in the room. No, it's full of confidential information. You can't read any yet. No. I get the feeling it will just be like infinitely recursive, but I want to work through it. I want to do the No! My pencil broke. Oh, this pencil was expensive. I don't know where my pen is. Let's get the other pencil. Maybe we'll have better luck with that one. Oh yeah, beautiful. It's the Chungus lead though, so. Sorry, Brad. I broke the brass one. I know I bought it. I shouldn't be apologizing. Sorry anyway. So what we doing? I'm charging my phone. That's what I'm fucking doing. Remember it gave me that 15% battery warning like 10 minutes ago, and I just ignored it like an idiot. I just let it roll. I was just like, it's probably fine. So what we're doing. Int factorial int if value is greater than 1. Return factorial value minus 1 times by value. So if we're starting at 3, we've got value's greater than, no, value does not equal 0. Right, that's the thing. That's what we're doing. Value does not equal 0. Okay. So we do fact 3 minus 1 times by 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So we have fact 2 minus 1 times by 2. And then 2 minus 1 is 1. So that's fact 1 minus 1 times by 1. Oh, that's where it breaks, isn't it? Which is 0. Now, how does this work? Do they add together? They return, right? They return. Factorial 3 is the same as factorial. Wait. Oh yeah, so it goes down another level because it's factorial. It's factorial 1 minus 1, which is 0. Which is 1. Brain, please. That's 0. Does it just return 1? Does it seriously just return 1? No. No. But factorial 1 is going to return 0 because it's 1 minus 1. Because it's factorial 1 minus 1 times by 1. Oh, but it's factorial 1 minus 1. So that's 1, actually. And then wait. This is so stupid. Factorial 3. Factorial 3 minus 1 times 3. Okay, that's fine. Factorial 3 minus 1, which is 2. Factorial 2 is factorial 2 minus 1 times 2. Which is fine, because that's factorial 1, which is factorial 1 minus 1 times 1, which is 0. No, it's not 0, because it's factorial 0, which is return 1. So that is 1 times 1, which is 1. That is 1 times 2, which is 2. Yes, I see now. I see how it works. I see in the Matrix. Blah! I'm so sorry. Yeah, I get it now. Check it out. So factorial 3 minus 1 is going back up 2. 2 times 3 is 6. Factorial 3 is 6. That works fine. I don't what? It works. It just works fine. I don't know what he wants from me. Can't believe I broke my pencil for this exercise. Look, it just right. That works, right? So it's fine if it doesn't equal 0. Check my math. Check up. I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm gonna have to go. I think it's fine. I'm gonna have to go now. Look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful. How much did this cost? I will tell you how much it cost if the price label is still in here, which it is not. So turn that off. In fact, turn it back on again. So, do you know what? Actually, before I go, we'll just test it out. We'll just make factorio. Yeah, screw it. Factor IO. Indisu. If indisu does not equal 0. Woo. Factorio minus indisu. Return. Sorry, that's return factorio indisu. So beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Hey, I was holding the shift key. Yeah, bean. Yeah, absolute mung bean. See how. Three. Mate. I will slap you. I will slap you. So we'll just test this out and it equals 0. We've done a we've done a bad. We have done a bad. Okay. Alright, yeah. Alright, they warned us. They warned us that might happen. I warned you it might happen. Oh, wait, equals 6. What do you know? That is the factorial of 3. Peace. 5 is 25, 120. Calculator to the rescue. Calculator. This is why we still have all this stupid stuff. I don't even have a button for my webcam. I have a button to reverse the display, but not for the webcam. Can you see that? Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? 5. The fuck is the factorial one? Bruh. Come on, how hard is it to find a bloody exclamation mark? I don't enjoy this. I do not enjoy this. Quick ad break while I look for the exclamation mark button. There it is. I found it. Oh, it's right there. Shift top left. You see that? You barely. Oh. Oh, well, that's exactly what it says. It's exactly what it says. It says. It's really hard to read, isn't it? It's just not closer, further away. Steady cam. You can see 120. I could have just switched back to the menu, but that would have been too easy. Oh no. Oh no. This is what you pay for. This is the quality stream content that you pay for. You. Ew. Thank you for paying for the quality stream content. Wobbly boy. But yeah, that is all I have time for today. I think. Look at that latent. Look at that horrible webcam. Look at that burn. Look at that glow. Magic. I'm beaming with infrared information here. Information? Light? Radiation? Whatever you want to call it. Is it reflected? Almost certainly. See, you get actual colors out of it if you put light in. But that's boring. No one wants to see that. Anyway, that's enough for the content stream today. That is far too much, in fact. I've been here for 2.5 hours, screaming into the void. So, what can I say? Other than, if you came to watch the live video, thanks for coming to watch the live video. Came to watch the video on demand, thank you for coming to watch the video on demand. Linus didn't make Linus. Thank you again for chilling out, having a good time on the stream. Honestly, it helps to have at least someone to laugh at horrible code with. Makes it bearable. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.